గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ స్వాగతం. నిర్వహిస్తున్నా
with your presence. I would like to thank my mother first for giving me this opportunity to host my father's birth anniversary at my new home, Rajmundry, where some of you might know my father, some of you might have heard, but I would like to reminisce about him, talk about him, about his principles, and what was it about him that made him who he was, and why is it we find it necessary that even after a decade of his being gone from here, that we find solace in celebrating his presence and talking about him every year and making it an event to remember. I would also like to thank Vijay Baba uncle, who, like my uncle has spoken, who has stood by us for all these 12 years and who has supported us and helped us achieve our dream of keeping my father's legacy alive. గత 15 ఏళ్ళుగా నా మెయిన్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అంతా కూడా చెన్నై, బాంబేలో ఉండడం వల్ల తెలుగు మీరు మాట్లాడినంత మంచిగా నేను మాట్లాడలేకపోవచ్చు. అందుకని అండ్ ఈరోజు నేను చాలా నర్వస్గా ఉన్నాను అనమాట. యాక్చువల్లీ నేను ఎవరైనా ఎనీవన్ హూ నోస్ మీ ఐ వాజ్ బోర్న్ టు టాక్. నాకు ఎప్పుడు స్టేజ్ ఫ్రైట్ అనేది ఉండదు, కానీ ఈరోజు నాకు చాలా ఆందోళనగా ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే ఇంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ రోజు నేను అనుకున్న విధంగా మా ఫాదర్ గురించి నేను మాట్లాడగలనా, మా ఫాదర్ లెగసీని నేను మీకు అర్థమయ్యేటట్టు నేను చెప్పగలనా అనేది నాకు తెలియలేదు. అందుకే నేను కొంచెం ఇంగ్లీష్లోనే ఎక్కువ రాశాను. సారీ. 61st బర్త్డే అండ్ ఆయన he was a man of principles, and he had his belief system and his values, and they were deeply rooted in our religion and spirituality also. The example for that is how we started our ceremony also. He was a big believer, and like our Ramraj Garu said, he was a Hindu sexologist, and by Hindu I don't mean religion. For us it is a way of life. For thousands and thousands of years ago, Hinduism was a way of life. Our scriptures, our Vedas, they taught us science, mathematics, and a part of our Vedas was Ayurveda, our medicine. Long before civilization has started in the West, we had our medicine, we had surgery, we had Sushruta performing plastic surgery and cataract surgeries when people were not even religions and other civilizations had not even started in other countries. So that is how it was. It is not a religion for us, it is a way of life, it is our identity. So my father always, like you have spoken very well, he always thought very strange that our temples are adorned by erotic sculptures, and our Vedas have a part and Vedas and Puranas and scriptures talk about sexology. Our gods Shiva, Parvati are embodiment of the world. They are called primordial parents, and their love making, well, one of the origin stories of the Kama Sutra was that their love making was written by Nandi, who was guarding the door as Kama Sutra. So it is a part of our life. It is not a bad word. It is not something to be shameful about. So, but even Kama Sutra, to be accepted in our country, had to be written and translated by Richard Burton, and has come back to our country now. Like all our heritage, like now our Pasupu, they have taken it, made nanoparticles, called it curcumin, and they are now selling us nanoparticles of our medicines, our herbs, which which we use in everyday kitchen. So centuries of invasions by the Mughals and the British have brainwashed us into thinking that our culture is a dirty word. Sex is not a dirty word. It is a part of our life. It is a part of everyone's life. That is how we have come into being, and that is how we celebrate our life. My father always believed that when a good sexual relationship is there between people, not only was their relationship enriched, a person's self-confidence and their identity depended on their relation with how they had perceived and their experiences, their sexual experiences. Some people who might have been abused as children might take it as a wrong thing, might avoid it. Some people who have had bad experiences actually are close. Other parts of their lives suffer from it. A relationship where sexual intimacy is not a comfort, not a source of comfort, can make them affect them in other parts of their life, like their work or their mood, and it can cause even diseases like depression and cause incredible amount of stress to a person. So he made it his life's agenda to change people's perception about sex. He made it his life's work to increase sexual awareness. He was a self-made man. He came from a family of scholars. He actually never wanted to become a doctor in the first place, but my grandfather, who was a great scholar himself and a great astrologer also, I think Dr. Kamampati Ramagopal Krishnamurti garu, who was PhD in Telugu, he was so well versed with our Vedas, with our scriptures. He actually used to talk fluently in Sanskrit, and he transliterated Sanskrit text into Telugu. And he had even written Brihadsparasarhora, which is the ABC book of astrology. He probably saw that my father would not only make a great name for himself, but he would change the perception of Ayurvedic doctors in our country. Anybody who knew him would never think that he went into BAMS as a proxy to MBBS like how it is being treated these days. He never prescribed English medicines, or he prescribed his medicines. He did MD at the prestigious Ayurvedic University in Jamnagar. He had done his MD in Rasha Shastra, which means something like pharmacology for us. And he had established his own pharmacy, and he formulated drugs. He formulated drugs which are completely herbal, and he gave those drugs and treated infertility, treated sexual problems in men. And he wanted to change people's perception about Ayurveda, where people never, these days, most of us are doctors here. Before sending me to MBBS, he used to tell us that these days we have given medicine to the world and we are looked down upon, and I don't want you to be looked down upon, so you will go to MBBS. And his dream was that he will make us into proper doctors, where we'll actually not only be able to practice and be eligible by our degrees to be practicing medicine in MBBS, through MBBS and allopathy, but also Ayurveda. He wanted us to be able to understand our principles of Ayurveda and actually be able to prescribe our drugs also, and to actually combine medicine into a holistic approach to health. We lost a battle to cancer. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer, metastatic prostate cancer at 42 years of age. And even though he was diagnosed with cancer, he never stopped fighting. Till 1 month before his death, he actually worked. He used to take radiotherapy, chemotherapy at night from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. and be back in the hospital by 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and complete his practice. He never let go of his principle. He never let his health affect. And 1 year after being diagnosed with cancer, and after being told that his cancer is now hormone resistant and that he will now have to start radiotherapy, after starting radiation therapy, he conducted the first South Asian lifespan educating international conference,
International Lifespan
sexual education
World Conference
in Hyderabad.
In Hyderabad. So he made it possible. He called international dignitaries to Hyderabad. He helped us share our sexual education to the world. Even though not many of them knew, he still continued his TV programs. Even after losing his hair to chemotherapy, he still continued his TV programs. He used to come on TV very frequently, especially where he used to answer calls. I still remember when I was in first year, second year of medicine, there was a call from a lady who was 50 years old, married for 30 years, and she asked him, what is an orgasm? And I am very sorry to say that even till today, 20 years later, still women don't know what orgasm is. Still men have erectile dysfunction, and still relationships are being suffered because of lack of sexual awareness. I still get patients where it is shameful because women are taught to cover themselves, to always say no, and suddenly I never understand how suddenly they say that now you are married, now you change your perception towards sex or towards a man. That is not possible for all women, and it is still a very painful process. So one of his dreams was to have sex education from school itself, to be taught what is okay, what is not okay, to be taught what is good touch and what is bad touch, and to be taught about protection. We in our practices or even in our daily lives are not, we still see unplanned pregnancies, we still see unmarried pregnancies, teenage pregnancies, and till today we are still seeing sexually transmitted diseases. We are yet to find side effects for condoms, and still till today we still have the same questions that my father was asked before. Does masturbation cause me to lose the length of my penis, or does masturbation cause health problems? Is it a dirty thing? No, it is an absolutely normal thing. This kind of sexual awareness and sexual identity is what my father always fought to give. It was his fondest wish that me and my brother, who is now a final-year postgraduate in psychiatry, become sexologists and treat male and female sexual problems, so we can keep up his legacy. And due to some circumstances and me being married in Rajahmundry, we cannot be in one place, but it is our fondest wish that even though physically my father is not present, his values and beliefs will always pass on through our beliefs and through our education and through our practices in Hyderabad and in Rajahmundry. Well, I wish to take it ahead and continue as a sexologist, as a gynecologist, having access to a lot of women and families. It was a platform to fulfill our dreams, and he, till today, I still hear his voice telling me how I can do anything I want, and he will forever remain with me. He was a very important part of my life, and the confidence that I have is because I still hear his voice telling me I'm capable of anything. Never did he believe that as a girl I had any restriction, that I had any problem facing the world or fulfilling my obligation. And my father never met my husband, but I am lucky that a lot of men would be very uncomfortable in these days of their wife going on stage, on TV, talking about sex. But my husband not only supports me, but he encourages me to continue my father's legacy. My father-in-law, Dr. K.V.S. Srinivas, has built us a hospital where he has given us an incredible gift where we are able to practice with ethics for the people. Without thinking of any other monetary benefits, we are able to do our service. I am able to follow my dreams and able to do the work that I wanted, the work that my father always wished that I would do. I would like to just end this by saying my father's favorite subhashtam. Jayantite sukrutino rasasita kaviswara nasti yesham yasakaye జరా మరణజం భయం. ఒక గొప్ప కవి భౌతికంగా లేకపోయినా వాళ్ళ కవిత్వం అంటే I consider my father an artist. He wrote many books. He was a way of life. He went on TV. He was an artist. He even acted in some movies where as a doctor where he gave sexual education. He came one of a revolutionary program by Yandamuri Veerendranath garu. He had a collaboration with him as Kamasutra and Teja TV. It used to come way back when we were kids, and he used to come on TV. So my father's body of art, there is no disease or death to that. There is no, it will always remain as he will remain in our hearts, and that is the work that we wish to continue. Thank you.
లలిత ఖమ్మంపాటి అండి. హీలియోస్ హాస్పిటల్ డాక్టర్ లలిత మెటర్నిటీ అండ్ ఇన్ఫర్టిలిటీ సెంటర్ డైరెక్టర్. నేను అక్కడ గైనకాలజిస్ట్గా నా సేవలు అందించడానికి రాజమండ్రికి వచ్చాము. అయితే ఈరోజు మా నాన్నగారు డాక్టర్ ఖమ్మంపాటి స్వయం ప్రకాష్ గారి 61వ జయంతి అండి. ఆయన ఒక ప్రముఖ సెక్సాలజిస్ట్, వైద్య వాత్సాయన అన్న బిరుదు పొందిన ఆయన. శృంగారంకి ఒక విజ్ఞానం అందరికీ అందాలి, శృంగార ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏమన్నా ఉంటే వాటికి పరిష్కారం ఈజీగా దొరకాలి, వాటి వల్ల ఎవరి లైఫ్ ఎఫెక్ట్ అవ్వకూడదు అన్నది ఒకటి ఆయన ధ్యేయం అండి. శృంగారము కామసూత్రాలు రచించిన మన దేశంలో, ఖజురహో శిల్పాలు చెక్కిన మన దేశంలో శృంగారం అంటే ఒక భూతపదం కాదు, అది మన జీవన ఆధారం, అది మన ఒక వే ఆఫ్ లివింగ్, అది మన ఐడెంటిటీ అనేది మన వేదాల నుంచి మనకు ఉన్న మన గొప్ప సంపద. దాన్ని మనం మర్చిపోయాము. అది ఒక భూతపదంగా మనం ఇప్పుడు చేస్తున్నాము. కానీ ఒక భార్య భర్తకున్న గల ఆ సంబంధం, వాటి సుఖం లేకపోతే ఎన్ని ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతాయి, వాళ్ళ అనుబంధాలు ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతాయి, దాని తర్వాత పిల్లల భవిష్యత్తులో ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతాయి, అండ్ మన ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం కూడా వాటి వల్ల చెడు ఇవి అవుతాయండి. సో ఆయన ఒక కళ, శృంగార విజ్ఞానం అనేది అందరూ ఈజీగా పొందాలి అనేది. ఆయన 12 ఏళ్ల క్రితమే కాలం చేశారు క్యాన్సర్తో. సో నేను, మా తమ్ముడు డాక్టర్ శ్రీనివాస్ హైదరాబాద్, ఆయన సైకియాట్రిస్ట్ హైదరాబాద్లో. సో నేను, మా తమ్ముడు, మా మదర్ డాక్టర్ ఖమ్మంపాటి మెమోరియల్ ట్రస్ట్ పెట్టి, డాక్టర్ ఖమ్మంపాటి మెమోరియల్ హాస్పిటల్ రీసెర్చ్ సెంటర్ హైదరాబాద్లో పెట్టి, అండ్ మా తమ్ముడు అక్కడ, నేను హీలియోస్ హాస్పిటల్లో లైంగిక సమస్యలు అనేవి, మగ ఆడవాళ్ళకి లైంగిక సమస్యలతో బాధపడుతూ వాళ్ళ ఆత్మవిశ్వాసాన్ని కానీ వాళ్ళ రిలేషన్షిప్స్ని కానీ వాళ్ళు పాడు చేసుకోకూడదు అని, అవైలబుల్గా ఉండాలి, అండ్ లైంగిక పరిజ్ఞానం అనేది అందరికీ అందుబాటులో ఉండాలి అనే ఒక ఆశయాన్ని మేము ముందుకు నడిపించడానికే మేము మా కృషి మేము చేస్తున్నాము. హీలియోస్ హాస్పిటల్లో కూడా ఆ కృషిని మేము కంటిన్యూ చేయాలని మా ఆశ. ఈరోజు ప్రతి ఏడాది మా నాన్నగారి జయంతి రోజు ఈ ఏడాది మేము ఒక ఆర్ఫనేజ్కి కొంత ధనము ఇవ్వబడింది, ఒక వేద పాఠశాలకి ఇవ్వబడింది, తర్వాత ఒక ప్రముఖ రచయిత, ఆయన మన హిందూ ధర్మం గురించి రాసే పుస్తకాలకి మేము కొంచెం ధన సహాయం మా చేత చేయబడింది. అది కాకుండా డాక్టర్ కర్రీ రామారెడ్డి గారు మానస హాస్పిటల్ డైరెక్టర్, సైకియాట్రిస్ట్, చాలా ప్రముఖ డాక్టర్, ఆయనకి మా వంతు కొంచెం చిన్న సన్మానం ఈరోజు చేయబడింది. మా నాన్నగారు భౌతికంగా లేకపోయినా ఆయన బాడీ ఆఫ్ వర్క్, ఆయన ఆశయాలు, ఆయన ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ మాతో ఎప్పటికీ కొనసాగుతాయి. థ్యాంక్ యూ.